This Shohei Ohtani thing. And
I'm infatuated with it, if you can't tell.
I can tell, and I'm not infatuated with it, and we want to take calls and keep talking it out. MLB, if you're just joining us, has launched their official investigation into the situation, and they named both Shohei Ohtani and his interpreter in terms of what they are investigating. Now, I will just say this, though. Maybe for some of you, a different entry point into the conversation, because you have stated how you want to see the Giants beat the Dodgers at full strength.
I want to see him play.
And everybody, I feel like he has been, in many ways, the most innocuous star in sports because he was an Angel. Who the hell is mad at the Angels? They're so non-threatening that Shohei could be someone that we all rooted for as a sort of an aside to whatever team we root for. Not anymore. Now he is the $700 billion evil empire, Los Angeles Dodger, tucked in between other future Hall of Famers in the lineup, and now a gambling story surrounds him. So a lot of that luster falls, and I do think it's interesting to ask Giants fans, hey, search the depths of your soul for a minute.
Ooh.
Go deep. And with honesty, answer this question. What are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for him.
I know what you're rooting for.
As a lifelong Giants fan.
I know you're rooting for him.
I want him to play.
I have a hard time separating this whole thing.
You don't.
No,
and that's fine.
No, it's not that. If you have to ask me the question in two different forms. I don't hate Shohei Ohtani. I do love the game of baseball. There's no question what you're saying is correct. It's horrible for the game if something goes haywire. But ask me how I feel about it right now for this baseball season. Sorry. If this leads to a bad record for the Los Angeles Dodgers, sign me up.
Well,
I don't want him to be gone for the rest of his life. I don't want him to be in jail. I don't want this to happen to baseball. I've got two sons who are huge fans, and they talked more about Ohtani last year than they did about any Giant. And why wouldn't they? What Giant would stop you from wanting to watch Shohei Ohtani? But I am conflicted because he's a Dodger now. I want them to lose. I want them to lose badly. I want them to lose embarrassingly. I want all kinds of things, like outside of the human stuff. I don't want anyone to get in a car accident on the way home. But I want bad things baseball-wise to happen to the Dodgers every day at a very, very deep level.
See, I think it'll be way more satisfying if the Giants finish ahead of them at full strength.
I agree with you, but I also think it's less likely for them to do that if he plays.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying.
You know, Warrior fan, do you want to go back and you're like, I didn't like it when they beat the Cavs and Kyrie was hurt?
Mark, I said this a lot on air, that no championship season ever started with one player punching another player in training camp. Like, fights happen throughout the course of the season.
Sure.
And guys get on each other's nerves. But, like, everybody loves each other the first day of school. And the fact that happened with the Warriors, I said it would derail their season. I said that. I said, I don't know how you come back from something like that. I don't know how their chemistry is going to be in the clubhouse. Along the same lines, this is 2 games into the Dodgers season, and now their season from a player standpoint was going to be a S show anyways, based on the media coverage of Shohei Ohtani, based on Yamamoto being there, and having, 50 credentials in your locker room every day instead of 20. It was going to be a show.
No doubt.
All year. Now, turn that up.
Double it.
Triple it.
Yep.
CNN's going to be there now. And Fox News and MSNBC and every outlet in Japan and Asia is going to be there. The news stations, not the sports stations, are going to be there. So when you talk about a punch derailing a season and being a distraction, this is huge.
It's huge.
The one thing I would push back on what Bernsey said, and he was wonderful because he's forgotten more about that stuff than I'll ever know, is that I still don't understand how you can get a $4.5 million debt when you make $200,000 a year.
You can't.
Unless you have the backing of a guy that makes $65 million dollars.
That's why I was sort of on that line of questioning, which is I don't understand how an illegal bookmaker who is here illegally to make money is just taking constant bets from somebody that doesn't make $200,000 a year to the point where he could rack up 4.5 unless that bookmaker knew at minimum. Doesn't mean Shohei's the gambler, but at minimum, you've got the backing. It's like when you're 16 and you go buy a car. Your parents better be there to co-sign for you, or else they're not giving you a loan. Like, they're not going to do that. And so I've asked this question a couple times, and I've felt unsatisfied by the answer each time because people are like, yeah, you could rack that up. You just keep chasing. It's like, no, they're not going to. Y'all have a betting account? Like, that money's got to be in there for you to bet it. You can't access that kind of a marker if you make $180,000 a year unless someone knows that the money is there.
I can't get a loan for a $10 million house right now. I don't qualify.
There you go.
Same kind of thing.
Totally. So that's what I was getting at. It doesn't mean that Shohei's the gambler. It does, to me, mean that money wasn't stolen. Because not only did he need to wire it 9 different times, that illegal bookmaker needed to know up front that it was there and accessible. So add that layer into how the hell do you do that without Shohei knowing?
Did you know the favorite part about doing these 3 shows with you this week? Like, I've never done this on radio before, where we're solving a crime and solving a mystery, and I'll see the light go on in your eyes halfway through a sentence, and as we talk, we're like, wait, and you hear yourself talk, and you're like, this makes no sense, this makes sense. Like, we're like CSI 95.7 for 3 days now.
We're doing sports Law and Order.
It's real time, though, because the more we talk it out, it's almost like therapy. The more we talk it out, the more I'm going like, this makes no sense. It
made no sense.
This is stupid. There has to be something more here. And people are getting mad that we're probably implicating Shohei. He is implicated. He is. The money came from his account. So whether he gambled or not, maybe he's just laying down bets left and right on the NFL. But all the players today came out and said, his former teammates, and it wasn't BS because it was all anonymous. They were saying that he just doesn't care about other sports. He doesn't watch other sports.
But so that doesn't really that doesn't really play here, because that's not what it's about. And you know, one of our very good YouTubers, Damon Chang, just asked us, I know a lot of you, and I'm the same, you want to believe that Shohei is as innocent as he's sort of been pitched to be to us.
I do.
And I do think that that's still a possibility. But there's a big but here. And that is, if Shohei simply just went, hey, buddy got in trouble, let me rock 4.5 for you. That's still a crime. It's still a crime in California. You just rocked 4.5 mil to an illegal bookmaker in California. It doesn't mean you're going to be banned for life, but it's a crime and it's a problem.
But it's not a one-time payment screw-up thing, though. It's $500,000
different wires.
Yes. That's covering for your boy for, I feel like,
9
unless
times.
It was like 9 different days. Was it 9 months? Was it a payment a month for 9 months? Like, how did they break this?
Yeah.
I need to know this part.
$500K.
Here's the thing with the FBI.
Monthly payment plan.
If they're investigating this, they have all the text messages. They have all the electronic evidence. They probably even, if he was making these payments over a period of time, they probably have phone calls between Mizuhara and the guy he paid off, the bookie.
Yeah.
They probably, if Shohei texted this guy, his interpreter, anything about like, put 500 on the Niners on Sunday. If that text message is in there, that's legal, I guess, because he's not betting on baseball. Major League Baseball players are allowed to bet on anything but baseball. So, yeah, this is going to be, like I said, I think we're in the second inning now. We started the show, I said we're in the first inning of this thing.
Yeah, the investigation launches. That goes to the second inning. All right, a lot of people want to weigh in on this. Let's rock and roll. Before we get started, though, let's remind you that you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch and YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Upgrade your savings dividend. Open a First NorCal First Class Money Market today. And also, quick reminder that every Friday for the rest of the season, we're going to bring you the Big Three Unplugged. Check out our social media platforms. This is really cool. Every Friday, our own Whitley Sandretto, who is fantastic and delightful and all of that, gets the big three, Steph, Clay, and Dre, talking about non-basketball topics like who's the most famous person you have in your phone, or are you involved in an illegal gambling ring? It's the big three, unplugged. I hope their answer is no. We'll find out. It's all brought to you by Alameda County Probation Department. Are you ready to make a lasting impact in your community? Visit joinacpd.org to start your journey today. Together, let's make a difference. Your community needs you. All right, out to you. Nick and Clayton with Willard and FP. Hey, Nick, what's going on?
Hey, guys, good discussion, and I like that, FP. It does feel like we're all kind of getting trying to solve a mystery, rather.
It is. It's a game we're playing.
and perhaps another source of clues, and I'm happy you're on the air for this, is what do you think the players or the Players Association think about what's going on? Now, you kind of, I think, might have alluded to a little bit about how the Dodgers players certainly don't want that in their clubhouse and whatnot. And the reason why I even ask it is I have a feeling that's what spurred the investigation, because I kind of felt like the owners and the commissioner want it under the rug and something not looked at. But if they have to look at it, if someone has to have made them look at it, and my sneaky suspicion it might be the players.
Nah, I don't.
Thanks, Nick.
I don't think any of us are rooting for Shohei to go down. I think Mark is a little bit tongue-in-cheek because he's a Giants fan and he thinks it would be cool if they didn't have him. And I don't think that you're in the minority there. I guarantee you there's a lot of Giants fans driving around going, screw the Dodgers. I hope he's suspended. I don't think that's good for baseball. I don't even think it's good for the Giants.
I don't think it's good for baseball. I have nothing against Shohei. I don't want Shohei, the guy, to go down. I guess it's the best way to answer it. I hope it doesn't feel like I've got one foot on each side of the fence. I don't want Shohei to go down. If this leads to bad things for the Dodgers, I am very much in favor of that part of it. That's all I'm saying.
And betting in California is illegal, right? Through a bookie, through a site.
Yes. This is a crime.
Yes.
And so I would. And by the way, simply paying that illegal bookmaker knowingly is a crime. Sending a wire to an illegal bookmaker is a crime. I guess this is the best way for me to answer it. I hope Shohei is totally okay. I hope this distracts the hell out of the Dodgers all year long, and they win 85 games.
I'm all for that.
That's what I hope. That's what I'm rooting for.
Well, you know what?
I hope that this is just a huge gorilla on their back all year long. And I hope they hate the contract. I hope they're all sitting around right now wishing that they had not spent $1 billion on Ohtani and Yamamoto. I hope that they're going to be paying for this for 30 years, and I hope it hurts every single day for the rest of their careers. That's what I hope.
Oh, you just made the Instagram clip with that rant right there. That was good stuff.
Thank you very much.
I'm not. Somebody on the YouTube chat said this, so this isn't me. But it made me think: what if Mizuhara is totally innocent? What if he's never bet a day in his life and he's just literally falling on the sword?
Now people would start to hate Ohtani. Then he becomes a villain.
Well, because it's all going to come out.
Yeah.
This is all going to come out. What if he's never bet a day in his life?
Well, I'm still not convinced it's, quote, all going to come out.
Why?
Because MLB has launched an investigation. I'm waiting for the government to launch the investigation. When we talk about the feds, Rob Manfred is not the feds.
No.
He's the Freds. I'm waiting for the Rob Manfeds to show up.
Yeah.
The Manfred, I don't buy you at all. I don't believe you. I don't think you're doing anything. I think you're just going to do whatever you can to protect Shohei Ohtani. We need actual law enforcement to get involved before this is really real.
Dude, it makes sense because all the greatest players in baseball aren't in Cooperstown. This is probably just going to...
Totally.
This could be
Pete
another
Rose
one
and
of
Barry
them.
Bonds.
Roger Clemens. Shohei. Say it ain't Shohei.
There's a lot of... His name is tremendous for puns. It really is.
I don't want him to be guilty. This is hard doing a show. Get in there! Oh no! I had Auburn.
Smart people win. Stop with the whole smart guys finish last. Yale has defeated Auburn in the SEC stakes. It's official. Florida out. Auburn out. Kentucky out. And I don't mind that one bit either. Stick to football, SEC. Luke in San Francisco. Hi, Luke. You're on with Willard and F.P. Hi. How you doing?
Wow, fellas. I'm great. How are you?
Good. What do you got?
You guys can talk. I didn't realize how much you could talk until I was in the queue.
Well,
long time listener.
We get paid to talk. That's what we do.
We're radio hosts. The lovely Christy, my girl, apologizes for me to my children all the time. She's like, you got to understand, like I know your dad took 5 minutes to punish you just now, but he can talk a lot.
You guys must just go home and not say a word.
Yeah, you'd think.
Yeah. I talk to my couch, dude.
Exactly. Anyway, go ahead.
Fellas, it's funny. One thing that they haven't broken out yet in all these stories is all these wires out. But what about the wires in? If they found these wires coming from Shohei's account when they looked at this bookies don't just receive money; they pay money out. So if he paid money back to that Shohei account, then I think he's kind of busted. Whether he was doing it for his little buddy or not, then there's the trail end, and then there's the IRS that's going to want money on those taxes. It's tax evasion, and Shohei should go down for it, but he probably won't.
Well, I mean, those are a bunch of ifs, though. Like, you know what I mean? You're right, Luke. You're totally right, but I don't know if and when we will ever know if money was going back in that direction to that account. And if it was, then, my God, Shohei is at minimum guilty of being really stupid. I mean, like, what do we... Honestly, unless Shohei, and he'd been here for a minute now, too, and we're talking about, and thank you, Luke, we're talking about someone, you made this point earlier, and I like to do this a lot because I do think it helps at least let us regular folk sort of imagine the world in which they live. Here's the example I'll give. Do you remember when a picture got taken of Tom Brady with Ronaldo overseas?
I don't.
Okay. It was right before, what was his name? The old coach of the Tampa Bay Bucks that got let go before they gave it to Bowles. Was it? It wasn't Arians. Anyway,
that's who I was thinking.
Yeah,
it isn't. That was the
Bucks head coach. The Bucks head coach.
The old school dude.
The old school dude. And they moved him upstairs. And Tom Brady, the owner of the soccer team. That's the Glazer family. That's the family that owns the Tampa Bay Bucks. So was Tom Brady across the seas meeting with ownership to try to adjust the staff of the football team? Was he doing that? Well, Tom Brady would have known. When people are like, well, it's just a picture. It's just a picture of Tom Brady and Ronaldo. And I'm like, do you all think that Tom Brady is not infinitely aware of what would happen and what people would think when a picture is taken of him and yet another global sports superstar? That picture is taken with their knowledge, spread on social media. Celebrities are very aware of that stuff. What's going on around them? They have people, they have handlers, advisors, everything. So the idea that Shohei is just like, I didn't know. His contract's worth almost $1 billion. I don't care if there's a language barrier. Do you think that person who's been here for 5 years had no idea that this kind of stuff could be trouble? He doesn't have 1,000 advisors, agents, lawyers, handlers. He's a global icon. He doesn't have people that would be like, so we can't do that. We're going to have to do this a completely different way, whatever it is you're doing. So that doesn't make any sense to me. That's another piece of this puzzle for me. This idea that Shohei is this innocent flower sitting in the corner that had no idea that anything he was just being stolen from. No way. There's too many people around him for something like that to happen.
I'll say this, and this is based on experience. When you're in that world, and I would have no idea what it's like to be that level, obviously, but you feel like you're bulletproof. You feel like I can do whatever I want. I have the world at my fingertips. I can do whatever I want. I'm above the law. I'm a baseball player. And there's plenty of examples of that. So you would think that one of his people somewhere would say, hey, dude, you got to separate yourself from this Mizuhara guy, like, he's a nice guy. I know he's your friend. I know he's your interpreter. But, like, if he's doing this, you're going to be implicated. And that had to, somebody had to, right? And if they didn't, why didn't they? Because he was gambling and not his interpreter? Dude, I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't think his interpreter, like, it's not out of the realm where this guy's never gambled in his life. And he's just wearing it.
Nothing's out of the realm.
I think this could go 74 different ways.
The only thing that feels out of the realm for me is that 9 different $500,000 wire transfers happened and Shohei was like, no clue. That feels completely far-fetched to me.
And I like what the last caller said about money coming in.
Yep.
Like, he just lost.
If he is,
he's the worst gambler ever.
Yeah, fade the Ipe.
Like, bro.
Like, man, let's get some picks.
Did you ever, like, do your homework?
Right.
You're the worst gambler in the history of the world that you just lose $500,000
No, I mean,
every month or whatever it was?
Where did the money come back?
Yeah, how much came back? When did you win? Did you win a big bet? Did they put $1 million in your account? Was there a $400,000 transfer coming back? Like, did you ever have a great day at the track? Right?
Yeah, dude, no, you'll trip and fall into one win before you lose $4.5 million.
Right? And a big one, too, you'd think.
Yeah.
If he was chasing.
Yeah. It's like the greatest reverse parlay of all time.
Here we go, talking it out. We're just talking it out. There's people listening in their cars. You and I are talking it out.
We need to get that little Law and Order sounder when they go to, when they go to a different scene. Dun, dun. Now we're in the police station. Shohei's being interviewed. You mean to tell me you didn't know anything?
Nothing? When dude, trust me. I should ask Burns this, but it was tough to get in. About
why?
We know, dude. Burnsy and I were wingmen. We did everything together. We knew everything about each other. We did. That's what happens when you live with somebody. Like, and these two were closer than we were.
Yeah, I do think this. At a minimum, without having any idea where this is and where it's going, at a minimum, I'm with you. Shohei Ohtani is guilty of, like, really poor decision making in terms of his closeness to this person and his lack of knowledge of how to handle it.
Dude, name me
at a minimum.
Name me one rock star, movie star, sports star that hasn't been the victim of poor decision making. I feel like it just goes with the territory. Like, there's always a musician that you see the E! True Hollywood Story or the TMZ. They all make bad decisions. You get all these big actors and actresses, and they make bad decisions.
What if I give you Steph Curry? Where's the bad decision?
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I mean,
I'm sure he's had some that we don't know about.
I'm sure.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, one time he ordered the chicken, and it was like, dude, the steak is way better at this restaurant.